What's good? You rocking with this all rights reserved. Quickly, let me say this. I am going to get back into the next topic that I want to talk about with X, but let me say this. Patrick Crusius, El Paso massacre situation. Now, that's going to be in the title. I just brought it up quick. The Wal-Mart sicko. I know I'm going to have to change that and stuff, but that's just how I feel about it. Let me speak about something now. We're starting to see an increase in the massacres and things going on. I want everybody to think objectively. I prepared your minds and prep you. We're going to start moving full speed. I'm really going to start working your mind. I want you to think. Think about the individual. Think about the upbringing. How come the first thing when they talk about the situation is how sad it is? Oh, justice for El Paso, pray for El Paso, but they don't talk about how sick the upbringing, his hatred towards someone that is not of his nationality. That is the basis of this. Why aren't we looking at the Crusius family? Why aren't we looking at his father, his mother, the teachings they have? Because let me tell you something. Most of these people, when I looked into their background, their parents were unsavory people. Is there some racial indifference that makes them not take this angle? Because then it will open up the same teachings they teach at home. Let me put it this way. This individual. Now, Texas is an open carry state. This is a state where that stuff it's legal. You get me? But how come they're so slow to respond and they always seem to arrest these individuals alive? They never fail to not take them out. They're taking out unarmed African American people, but they can't seem to take out an armed boy. Really? He's so skilled that officers just can't ride down and get it? This is crazy. 20 people. 20 people. And they happen to have been immigrants. So you're telling me not only are they trying to charge him with a hate crime, firearm charge his parents too. Where did he get that weapon from? Was it a gift or an heirloom from his father? What? So you're telling me he thought this deeply and this seriously about hating a certain nationality of person and his parents didn't know? Let me tell you something. I was raised colorblind, which means that my parents never placed a race or a certain way to like or hate somebody depending on their race. For him to come out and behave this way, it shows his upbringing, his teachings. You don't just secretly hate a race of people. Don't be surprised if there wasn't some type of off-brand joke between some parental figure and him, his friends and him. It's all the company you keep. He would not be able to be around someone of this nationality feeling this way if he didn't really think this way. Think about it. It wouldn't make sense. But they don't want to. So many of their own upbringings, so many of their own people around them. Trust me, I've been down in Texas. There is no way you were riding around there not hating a specific nationality and this wasn't known. That's a fact. It's well known. How many situations of racial tension are overlooked every day? But he can go into a normal shopping store. Why is this not brought out? He's 21 years old. Think of how young that is. Think of how young that is. That's very young. To have visions that strongly, someone had to teach you and inspire you to think that way. You don't just think thinking that way. That's not how it works. What's crazy to me is, see, the reason I don't get it is because me and people I've hung around of many different races, we never grew up thinking about these things. Whenever you have to put emphasis on this, it shows the character you lack. We never put a certain genre on a certain, we see in the rhetoric, we see in many things that's pressed, they attempt to make it political that the reasons are happening this way. Maybe a sick individual because he had two sick parents that could not grow up. That's sad. That's so sad. And what's even worse is those people were just shopping for their family. Imagine that. Have the shoe on the other foot. So you're telling me that you wouldn't find, they would not bring out the beginnings or any type of start if 50 African Americans ran up and started shooting up the stores and things that people of a different nationality was in. They wouldn't bring up their upbringing, right? They wouldn't bring up the fact that they lived a savage life, right? We already seen that happen. What about the shooting that happen in LA all the time? Read the stories. That's the first thing they go to. Oh, gang affiliation. What do you think that means? This is something that's used to portray and bring out a certain view. It's not the weapons that are making the choice of the person. It is the person that is deciding what the weapon will do. That needs to be understood. That is an open carry state. I was there. I was there when they were marching because an unarmed African American again was killed. I was there. They were marching peacefully in the open carry state with all their weapons out. They weren't shooting up buildings, running, shooting things up. No, they were carrying them around. So there's no justification for this story. But what I'm tired of is the parents not being brought out. What were their thoughts? How did they work? What did they teach? Did they teach it was acceptable for them to dislike? Oh, I dislike gangs. That gives me the right to shoot them up because they dislike. There's no sensitivity to it. There's no understanding. There's no justification for it. Yet, when people don't speak up, here's what a wise man once said. A lie uncontested becomes the truth. These are lies being pushed in the nature that this was just a sick young man. Maybe it was the parenting that was sick. Maybe the people teaching him, sick people. Maybe the people that influenced him, taught him how to do what he does, sick people. Look more at the people that are teaching rather than the person that's doing it. Of course, they should be held fully responsible for their actions. But don't look at culture. Look at the people teaching them. What was their culture? What was their lineage? What did his grandfather teach him? What did his grandfather teach him? Over out of 10, you're going to find something funny about the family and not just the person. It's the upbringing.
Right, brother.
Thank you. My name's TheCzarr Rights Reserve. I have a channel. Yes. I speak on it because my thing is, when you have weapons, they want to make it seem like everybody deserves the right to protect themselves from a criminal. And it's not the person that did the shooting as much, in fact, oh, he got a gun, shoot, as much as how he was taught to think.
Exactly.
And that's what I want to push. I don't want them to think that there's not people that deserve. If there's a criminal and you have the right to bear arms, me as a citizen, I'm looking for you to have the right to be able to protect us all. Like, oh, he can shoot him, take it out. I don't want them to think it's just the weapons. It's not, because that's not it. I don't think that, yeah, man. I know. I just.
Bottom line is, say by keeping us fighting against each other.
Right.
Instead of worshiping Elohim.
I agree.
And following him.
I agree.
We got to watch our own walk.
Right.
If we got our own walk right, we don't got to worry about, well, we have to know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
If everybody mind their own business, instead of being other people's business and being worried about what so-and-so's doing, yada yada, and just make sure they're right with him, we wouldn't have these problems.
Right. I know.
Well, it's not going to be right, and it's only going to get worse until he returns.
Right. I agree. I agree.
You are so right in what you're saying.
Thank you. I'm only saying it because it's like, I don't want.
I didn't even hear the backstory.
Yeah. Well, basically what happened was there was a Walmart. He took an AK-47.
There was one in Ohio yesterday, too.
Yes. It's been a back-to-back. No, well, the one in Ohio, that woman was being bullied.
Okay.
Yeah, she was being bullied and she took it upon herself. They could have made a threat to her. See, I still got to look into that. They could have made a threat to her and told her they were going to do that. And she said, well, I'm going to do it first. That's why I'm still, objectively looking into it. But in this case, they said he had anti-immigration type views and stuff. And I understand it's not right. But I don't think it should just be, he's young. And even though he's an adult, he's still young. I want them to look into the full story. Like who taught him?
Who trained him?
Right, to think that way.
Train up somebody in the way they should go.
Exactly. It wasn't just he decided one day, oh, I'm going to. They knew how he felt. So they should have talked to him like, that's not right, son. Or that's not right. You know what I mean? I don't think it's fair. Because really, they're adding a racial connotation when it was just how he was taught. It was what he was taught. Yeah. It's and I know down there's a lot of mixing and intermingling with immigrants and stuff. And I'm not saying that I'm all behind immigration laws and all that, but it's like, let's look at how he's taught. Yep. Let's not just look at him and say, you're the fault.
Exactly.
Like it's like, come on, like you guys cannot keep running this story. Oh, this one man. It's not just this one man. It's his parents. What the teacher? Who was he hanging around? If
Yep.
his parents didn't do it, his friends. What did his friends say?
Yep.
It's like, because then I would tell you, well, this could happen again because his friends don't. I just think because he went in ready. He put his shades on. He put it on his back. Pulled it out, walking through the door. It was like, whoa.
Real.
Yeah, he wasn't playing. And it just blows my mind because I know their officers are flying around and stuff. You're telling me that this is the one situation where he takes out 20 people for you show up and you're normally riding all around. It's like, go figure. It's like you weren't there when something happens. And I'm like, if that's the case, you guys didn't intervene to prevent other people from dying, but you intervene with people just hanging out. They're like, what are you doing around here? Like, ask him what he's doing when he's walking into a store with the gun out. Like,
Exactly.
I don't know. I just find it crazy.
I agree with you.
Thank you.
Take care.
I appreciate you. Yeah, so I mean, I want everybody to go read the story. I'm gonna post it when I get a chance. Please check it out. I just I just thought it was crazy. It's not just him. I just don't want, and I don't want you guys to run with some race narrative like, oh, it's this. No, it's not that. Look at the teachings. Don't look at, like, we focus so much on the person. We do that, and it's easy to. I understand it's easy because he's different, they're different. And it's easy to do that. Look at what he was taught. Because how do we know that? Let me give you guys a scenario. He always looked for his father's love and appreciation. He knew in his heart that his father had this specific issue. And he said, maybe if I do this, my father will finally love me and respect me. That happens all the time, guys. It does. I know. Look it up. It happens. It's not that this is who he is. It could have just easily been he was looking for his father's love and attention. And he said, if I do this, my father will respect me. The upbringing. We and at that time your hands almost forced because you want the attention and love of someone that never gives it. This happens, man. It does. And I just don't want you guys to run off with the story like, oh, this is bad and this is the way it's always gonna be, because get a bunch of people riled up, then riots begin, and then innocent people get dragged in more. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I just, and I'm not saying he shouldn't face for what he did, but I'm saying don't act like race is the only reason he did this or this is the, no, it's not. It's not. It's so much bigger than that. I need you guys to understand. That's why I do critical thinking. That's why we talk about how we do. You know? Shout out to the individual that was featured that dropped some knowledge on you from the sidelines. I had a feature and I didn't even know it. Like, that's how real it is. I didn't expect that. Like, he dropped some gems on y'all for real, man. If everybody focused on their own spiritual growth and their own belief, and they put that into effect in their lives, it would be a better off place. It really would. I need you guys to start thinking this way. Listen, I have a lot I'm going to be doing in the near future with call-ins, different things. And of course, as any business, it's going to require you, if I'm going to take you on and take the opportunity, it's going to be a fee to it. There are very few people that are going to be able to be in free. My Patreon members, you're going to be able to obviously call in at will. Also, the people that I do have proof of donating, they're going to be the ones that do it. But I'm going to have things working a certain way where you can speak up. Like, we got to do things a certain way moving forward. And it's always a cost to the entrance into what I have going on. Shout out to Chris A stopping by, Dawn, Rega stopping by, everybody. With all respect to y'all. Thank you. What is he playing? I think he's playing Blue Face. I think that's a Blue Face. Is that what that is? Yeah, it is. I hear the beat. It always had, yep, he said his name. It definitely is. So that's what I'm trying to say, man. That was an OG. Stop. And he was like, you're absolutely right. It was a Caucasian, and it wasn't, listen, I know I'm not crazy. No, I'm not. He was like, you're absolutely right. He was minding his business. He heard the whole thing. Like, I'm not up here just joking and kicking rocks with you guys. Like, I'm kicking facts. I know I am. And it just got co-signed by a random person. That's why I do this model right now. So you can see that I am sensible. And if it wasn't someone co-signing me, you saw it was people literally trying to interrupt it. Listen, I am telling you, we are the greatest nation since United Nations. They don't even know it yet. We've been a powerhouse. We've been. I told y'all, man. I've been telling them, yo. Shout out to everybody. Next, we about to get to this X thing, because I got something else I'm bringing them up. And I'm about to hit them with the one-hitter quitters. Like, I'm just putting in that work. You already know how I rock, man. We in here, man. You're going to see me doing it in different places. I haven't even dropped the Florida videos yet. Y'all think I didn't go to key places to do You must be crazy. I pulled up to your most notable place just to do an entry. Like, you're crazy. I puts this down. They don't even know. I put that work in. You are confused, my guy. They are confused, my guy. I show up to where you're at and I put it in. You are confused, my guy. Come on, man. I ain't just do this overnight. This wasn't just something overnight. Oh, TheCzarr's here. I've been grinding. I've been putting in work. Even when they didn't want to hear me, I made sure they heard me. Like, CommenterNation, the greatest nation since United Nations. Commenter Galaxy, Commenter Universe, commenters up, commenters hold it down, commenters rule. We do, we rule. We're the rulers of this. They don't even know. We control the outcome of everything. Shout out to everybody that stopped by. Facts. Facts. Had a preacher stop by, like, you're absolutely right. Like, are you? All rights reserved. We in the building.